other perspectives are needed for us to get there.
Thanks. So yeah, I've put a quick bio up here. I mean, you may have seen my name in credits to Toy Story films and all sorts of other places. But this is a quick example of I've been kind of at the genesis in the right place in the right time of any number of technologies and gone completely the wrong direction. So you can either take this as kind of a set of directions to go, or maybe think that I have learned from these various failures and this time I'm on the right path. I have no idea. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I still am not quite sure, but like everybody else, I heard personal clouds and thought that's kind of like personal mainframes, but I've kind of seen a bunch of you do cool things over the years, and so I've been following specifically Johannes, because I caught up with him on Lyd at the very beginning, and said, well, that sounds like an interesting mailing list to subscribe to. Let's subscribe to and read that. That's why I'm here. And then the other day, I had a realization that I had a model for personal clouds. That is what a personal cloud means to me. And I think this is valuable for two reasons. Yeah, it's all the data we're shedding off of us as we wander around, and how do we make sense of that? How do we use that? How do we allow us to interface with computers without building any more new interfaces? But back in the middle of the dot-com boom, or slightly later, there was this company over in Berkeley that had this notion of dust, sensors, smart sensors everywhere. And of course, they were too early and overpromised way too much and failed, but we might be getting back there, and I'll get there in a second. Oh, that picture didn't come out at all. So, I'm remodeling my house right now. You might be able to tell from all the scars. And I tore out the doorbell, and I went to put the doorbell back in and noticed it was a transformer. And I said, well, this is ridiculous, and looked it up, and it's drawing 3 watts all the time. And I said, for that, I can put 2 Linux servers in my doorbell. So I have. And now I'm trying to figure out and now I'm trying to figure out some of the things to do with it. And one of the things that I want to do is to, when I'm back in the workshop, if somebody rings the doorbell, I want to flow a picture back to my workshop wall so that with all my safety gear on, I can see whether or not I want to take off the safety gear, walk around and cover the person with sawdust, or ignore them. Then you notice there's also that old, on my calendar, contacts, blah, 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 blah. That's already possible. I can already tie tools together to that. I'm not doing it, so I'm not sure why it's not there yet. But solving those problems clearly isn't a priority for me, so I haven't tied those things together. Building the physical web, we're back to sharing my doorbell. Get my family off Facebook. For that, I have to offer them not a better Facebook, but some other reason to store their images, to share data about what they're doing in their house, things like that. So I'd like to talk a little bit about solving real problems. I kind of got into Lyd, which was a predecessor to the notions of OpenID early, and I said, this is great, this is going to let me do blog comments with my own URL, sign into blog comments. That's my goal for OpenID. And so I followed and participated in the OpenID mailing list really strongly. And at some point the politics got too deep, and I said, okay, that simple thing, that's going to happen. And not only did those 2 things not happen, we only got halfway to one of them. That is that we might have a single sign-on identifier if any 2 implementations were actually interoperable, but the chances that I can now comment on a blog are just about nil with OpenID. So let's go forward and talk about real problems in building personal clouds. Value. Right now, we're all whining about how much Facebook is working to try to monetize what we're contributing to it. And we're using it as an identity. If you take their numbers of active users and you divide them by their quarterlies, you get 40 cents a month. Let's flip forward through these. The first time I can help you lose thousands of followers as a spam, I will believe that privacy is an issue. Trust. I've got one sister who's currently up on felony charges. I've got another sister who is saying way too much on Facebook about this. So trust is very context sensitive, and it's individuals, and there's no good way for me to commodify that and just say, just because this person trusts something, I trust something. The real problems I'm dealing with, networks suck and are inefficient, and aren't always on, so I need ways to forward data around between devices, so I need a good, consistent store and forward mechanism that probably isn't email. I need some asset tracking, know where I push those images to, and we can't continue polling RSS, we have to have push notifications. Looking for various protocols, Brian Warner's pet mail just came to mind because it's ages old and did a lot of the kind of email and trust stuff from ages ago. The new BitTorrent thingy seems to be doing distributed storage. And I don't trust CAs, so if your protocol depends on CAs, I'm not going to use it. Let's let the smoke out of these devices. Currently, my favorite programming language is carbide tip blades. I do solder. I'm slinging a lot of Perl, C. I want a store and forward network. I want a house that reacts to me and understands me. And I want a way to share all of this stuff between my colo server, my home server, to use this as logins, and to get it out there and to communicate with my family. Thanks.
Good.